All right, let's talk about AI. Forget all the crazy headlines about AI taking jobs for a minute. Today, we're talking about AI taking on your most boring, repetitive, soul crushing tasks. We're going to look at 5 AI tools that can basically become your own personal team of automated assistants, freeing you up to do the work that actually, matters. No, I mean, seriously, think about that for a second. That weekly report you absolutely dread putting together, the constant sorting of your inbox, all that mind numbing copy pasting you do between 10 different apps. What if all of that busy work just happened on its own? Well, that's exactly the promise we're going to dig into today. And this is the big idea, right? Automation isn't about replacing you, it's about upgrading you. It's about finally being able to hand off all that manual grind so you can get your time and your brain power back for the important stuff. Strategy, creative thinking, and making those big judgment calls. So, to make this all happen, you need the right tools in your toolkit. We're about to meet 5 very different AI automation platforms. The best way to think about them is like a team of specialists you can hire for different parts of your job. Each one has its own unique superpower. Okay, first up is the corporate insider. Look, if your work life is inside the Microsoft world, Teams, Outlook, Excel, SharePoint, then this is your absolute go to. Microsoft 365 Copilot and Power Automate work together to streamline pretty much everything that happens inside your company's walls. This is where you can finally kill that daily administrative drag. I mean, imagine it automatically drafting follow up emails right from your team's meeting notes, or generating that weekly sales report by just pulling the data straight from Excel, or even managing these complicated approval workflows that go across different departments. It is the ultimate power up for everything Office. Next up, we've got the Knowledge Worker. This is the whole OpenAI family. We're talking ChatGPT, custom GPTs, and its really powerful API. This specialist is a genius at any task that involves language, data, and, well, reasoning. The real magic here is building what you could call persistent workers. Using the API, you can actually set up an automated system that reads your incoming support tickets, figures out the issue, finds the answer in your knowledge base, and then drafts a reply. It's kind of like having a junior analyst on call 24/7. All right, our third specialist is the Universal Connector, and this one is a fan favorite, Zapier. If you have ever wished that your CRM could just talk to your email tool or your project manager could talk to your calendar, Zapier is your answer. It's basically the universal glue for thousands of different web apps. And this is where things get really powerful, especially if you're not a developer. Zapier now has AI built right in, so you can create these apps that don't just move data around, they make decisions. So, for example, when a new sales lead comes in, an AI step can figure out how hot that lead is, find more info on the contact, and then automatically assign it to the right person in your CRM. And you can do all of that with zero code. Okay, but what if your data is super sensitive? I'm talking legal, finance, healthcare. You can't just send confidential info out to some third party service. Well, that is the exact problem that our fourth tool, the Security Specialist, NAN, was built to solve. So, the key difference with NN is that you can self host it. That means all of your workflows and all your data stay on your own servers. This gives you total control and maximum privacy, which makes it perfect for automating things like, say, processing legal documents for analysis or running compliance checks without that sensitive data ever leaving your system. So let's just break that choice down real quick. If you need to connect common web apps and you want to do it fast without writing any code, Zapier is absolutely your best friend. But if data privacy and having granular control are your number one priorities, then the extra bit of setup for N8N is going to be totally worth it. And finally, we have a tool that's built specifically for developers and engineering teams, the engineering expert GitHub Copilot. And believe me, this thing goes way beyond just simple code completion. GitHub Copilot can now run in what they call an agent mode, which means it can take on these multi-step coding missions all by itself. Just think about all the repetitive work in software development, writing boilerplate code, creating unit tests, doing simple refactors. Copilot can automate huge chunks of that, freeing up engineers to focus on the hard stuff, like complex architecture and building new features. Okay, we've met the whole team, so now what? How do you actually put them to work? Let's walk through a really simple 5-step playbook to help you build a real automation strategy starting today. The key here is to start small. Please don't try to automate your entire job on day one. Just pick one single repetitive task, map it to the right tool from our list, and then build a simple prototype. And then measure the time you save. That one small win is going to give you all the momentum you need to tackle the next task and then the next one. But hold on, before you rush off and start building your own little army of automations, we need to ground this in reality. I mean, these tools are incredibly powerful, but they also come with some risks that you absolutely need to manage. And I want you to pay really close attention to that last point, the skill shift. Because as you automate the execution part of your job, your real value shifts to orchestration, to oversight, and to governance. Your job becomes less about doing the task and way more about designing, monitoring, and improving the automated system that does the task for you. So, where is all this headed? Well, if we zoom out just a couple of years, the trend is crystal clear. We're moving away from these simple AI helpers that do one off tasks, and we're moving towards fully integrated AI teammates that can handle really complex, multi step workflows. This quote right here, this is the key takeaway. The future of knowledge work isn't about being the fastest person at filling out a spreadsheet. It's about being the smartest person at telling an AI how to fill it out and then knowing what to do with the results. So, yeah, by 2026, you should just expect AI to be a default feature in the software you're already using. These powerful agents are going to be accessible to everyone, not just engineers. And the teams that succeed, the ones that really thrive, will be the ones who learn to adopt quickly as the AI models themselves just keep getting better and better. And that brings us to the final, and I think the most critical question for you. The manual parts of your job, they are clearly on a path to being automated. So the real challenge for you is this. What are you doing to sharpen the one thing that can't be automated? Your critical judgment, your strategic oversight, and your unique human expertise. Because the future of your work, well, it really depends on it. Thanks for tuning in.